League Midweek Series heads to the Granite State tonight. Loudon, New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in the Xfinity Series cars. We'll see what can happen tonight. Many-time Cup Series winner Bradley Domer Jr. in the field led this race wire to wire last season. Tegan Jones, three-time Cup champion, two-time National Series champion, also in the field. The pole sitter is Spencer Boyce for this race, who has been one of the faster midweek regulars this season. I'm joined by Kevin Hall, Kevron, here tonight. Kevron, what are your thoughts on Loudon? How are you feeling for this big race?
I feel like we are going to pretty much put on repeat the drama that's going to unfold between several drivers. For those that have been following, you know who I'm talking about. For those that are just now tuning in, so Spencer Boyce is one of the cats that Mike Mann has just said that has grabbed the pole. Never count out Tegan. Never count out Bradley. They're all going to be up there in the top running around as well with the likes of Spencer. Spencer being a midweek regular, he's trying to go for wins any way that he possibly can. All right, we can join. But to me, Spencer's got a couple of bullseye on his backs. One from Tegan, and with the drama that has unfolded in the few races that they have had between each other. One being just last Martinsville race here past Sunday, and the one before that was at Dover. That's not settled down. Bradley being amongst the top three admins between him, Tegan, and as you hear Mike Mann here behind the booth, he has to be walking around eggshells. But
definitely.
I feel like it's going to be a good race nevertheless, Mike Mann.
We will see. We're getting ready to go green here in Loudon. The weather's a lot nicer than it's been here the last couple years the Cup Series has visited. Spencer Boyce, Tegan Jones leading the field to green, and the green flag is out in the Granite State. We're underway. 54 and 98 dive into the flat turn number one. This is a very, very flat 1 mile oval. Just a little over 1 mile here in New England. Tegan Jones to the lead on the outside lane. 98 to the point on lap one. Bradley, who went wire to wire last year, will not be able to repeat that feat.
Yeah, he's dealing with a lot of racers behind him that are also midweek regulars. The 54 Sports Clip Machine of Harris, the 19 of Darth Kylo. Darth, missing a few races here already, is behind in points. Definitely still has himself pretty well locked into the midweek series playoffs coming in the next little while. But there's some pretty tough battles going on here from fourth on back as Spencer holds real tight to the back of the 98's bumper.
On board of Spencer, he dives into 3 and 4 here. Equally as flat as 1 and 2. Trying to use that third lane to get a run off, but looks like Tegan Jones did a great job diamonding that corner and keeps about a 1 or 2 car length advantage over the 54.
And Spencer had to really make that car stay wide because Bradley was able to get his nose underneath him, not allowing Spencer to diamond off the corner to get the run like he wanted to, but he's still nevertheless knocking on Tegan's back door.
We got Bradley trying to make a move for second here around the outside of Spencer. These two, no love lost between runners number 1 and 2 now, and the third place guy is Spencer, but he's going to keep second, actually.
Yeah, he really had a good entry off the bottom of there of Bradley. Bradley had a really tight exit here. Bradley's still holding on strong. Looks like he's going to try to tuck in behind Spencer and get another run.
Yeah, got to build that back up. Darth Kylo, strong start in fourth. We got a side-by-side battle in the back. Sam Perry, the 20 car, also known as Future, against Morris here.
That and 54 of Harris trying to get underneath Darth Kylo to make the pass for fourth. Just don't have quite the momentum on default setup to be able to get that run off and stay side by side with Darth Kylo there. So Darth having a pretty decent run here on default so far.
Morris settles back into last. Future trying to make a move on Harris now for fifth.
Ooh, Bradley got really loose. He was trying to make a move under Spencer there because Spencer was trying to make a move under Tegan. That kind of caused a little action right there with Bradley barely saving it coming off turn 2 as he pushes the 20 up to the track.
And Bradley in the 6 is not happy with Spencer, so tally up another enemy for Spencer Boyce.
I didn't quite see, Mike, man, what specific contact made. But, yeah, obviously something had to have happened between them two for Bradley to get loose like he did off of turn 2. So doesn't surprise me that Spencer, actually, now here's Spencer trying to go for the lead, and Tegan makes a little contact with him.
Yeah, battle for the lead, and with what's going on in the recent weeks, Tegan Jones is not going to make this easy on Spencer Boyce.
Absolutely
this is going to be a tough pass for Spencer in the 54.
Tegan said in the post-race interview after the Cup race, Martinsville, that he was trying to give Spencer a little taste of his own medicine, make Spencer learn his lesson, and then Spencer just nosedives it in from 5 car lengths back, saying, well, that restarted the entirety of what point I'm trying to get across him. So this race is definitely going to be really tough on Spencer to at least him get by the 98 of Tegan Jones.
Let's focus on Bradley here as he tries to get back into the top 3. He just gets such a better entry than Darth Kylo in the 19.
Solid exit too, but as to your point, the entries where Bradley makes up a lot of times. We now got a battle for the lead.
Yep,
Spencer going down low
all over the place. Spencer ducks behind him. Bradley will take 3rd.
Ooh, they're contact.
Here we go.
Yep, here we go.
They are side by side down the front stretch.
Tegan giving him no room, Eichmann.
Yeah, he was holding him down about to the inside wall at some points down the front stretch.
Meanwhile, Bradley gets by Darth Kylo for 3rd. Bradley quickly closes up on the back end of the Twix machine of Spencer Boyd.
Could we see a little retaliation for what happened earlier in the race? Oh, the bumper to the 54. Bradley washes up too, though. Looked like he tried to get in and give him a bump.
I don't know if Bradley went in too hot or if Spencer knew that he was about to get tagged and went in hotter than he should have, because that allowed Tegan to pull away by 1 or 2 car lengths.
And it seems like the 98 is pretty slow right now. It looks like he's holding up the 54 at least, and Bradley worked his way all the way back to the field and caught him up. Spencer
Tegan
looking low, but Tegan shadowing him down that straightaway.
And so is Bradley on his high side now. That almost a battle for 3 wide for the lead there, Mike Min, but it looks like Tegan will prevail.
This onboard view of Bradley is great for this angle right now as we take a different look at it as the 6 and the 54 are side by side. Can Bradley complete the pass for the 2nd spot here out of 2?
He should here, Mike Man, coming off of turn 2, getting that momentum. Actually, Spencer gets a little bit of a better run on the bottom there. That's quite a surprise. And
Bradley inched ahead down the straight. It looks like Spencer might just let him go here. And now we can see 2 of the top drivers in the Cup Series go at it. These guys combine in this 1 and 2 spot for 14 Cup wins so far this season.
Meanwhile, we got a battle for 5th way back here between S'mores and Darth Kylo there in the 19. Looks like Darth will give way and fall back to 6th there.
Bradley seems like the quickest car on the racetrack right now. I was going to say, how long does it take for them to make a move? Kind of ruts him up a little bit. Awfully reminiscent of what we saw here just 2 months ago. Bradley moving Tegan out of the way for the win in the Cup Series.
There's not much side drafting here at New Hampshire, but there is just enough for Tegan to try to use that to his advantage to stay on his high side there, not allowing Bradley to get that run off the exit, but it will not prevail.
And I think once Bradley can get this spot, he might be able to set sail. We'll watch with Spencer here to see if he can try to make a move, because I think the race for the win could be between the 6 and the 54 today.
If Spencer... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go.
No, if Spencer can find a way to get by the 98 without incident, I do believe you are correct. The 54 has a little bit of a looser setup for sure. 98 really shoves it down in that corner there, but now is going to have to give up that momentum and let the 6 go by just a little bit further out from him.
Yeah, and Spencer's going to get the pole. Remember, normal draft in this series. We run low draft in the Cup Series, normal draft here. So you could see some extra runs down the straightaway potentially from Spencer Boyce if he can get a good run off, and that seems like something he's doing a little better than Tegan Jones right now.
And Spencer trying to stay away from the barbershop there behind him, talking about the sports clip machine of Harris. He's inching every bit closer behind that Twix machine.
Yeah, so we haven't talked about him yet at all, but this is a pretty solid start for Harris. He's up here with 3 big dogs in this race.
Yeah, definitely had quite a bit of action there at the beginning of the start of this race here, Mike Min. Fell back to 5th, got past Darth Kylo there relatively easy, but yeah, as you said, definitely has made a little bit of headway here to catch up to the lead pack, and look to see him try to shake up a little bit here for the lead.
And Loudon has the 20 car way behind the field here. He must have had some sort of problem, maybe pitted or something. I'm not sure what's going on with him. But
yeah, I don't see any damage on his car, but yeah,
he's way behind the field. And
Tegan's just still hanging on that back end of Bradley's bumper, though. Just can't get that run off.
It seems like Tegan's car might come in pretty deep into the long run. It is a long race, though. You've got 84 more laps remaining around this 1 mile track, and I know a lot of people talk about Richmond maybe being the action track, but here in the Checkered Flag Racing League over the past couple of years, New Hampshire could be considered the action track. We had a pretty tight finish here this year with Bradley moving Tegan out of the way for the victory. We had a very exciting race here in 2023. Oh, a big block! Tegan Jones on Spencer Boyce, and the action continues here at Loudon.
Tegan just absolutely not giving Spencer 1 inch of racetrack to get by him whatsoever. Spencer's definitely going to have to use pit strategy to get by the 98 because Tegan's way too good to try to pass without making contact. And especially Tegan being mad at you, holding you back like that is going to allow Harris now to get underneath. 254's battling for third.
This might be the holy trinity of Spencer beefs up here around him right now. Bradley, Tegan, and Harris. I couldn't think of 3 worse guys for him to be kind of in the middle of right now, considering some of his past antics.
And for those that are not familiar, Harris and Spencer has probably the longest rivalry going on that is active in this league, dating as pretty much as far back as when Spencer started in the league. Help me out on what year he started, Mike Mint. But
he started in 2020. I think the beef between them really had its genesis at Michigan in 2022, which just happens to be where the Cup race is this Sunday.
So there you go. And yeah, Harris, he's going to work a little bit patiently here behind the Twix machine. He's got his eyesight within a half a second of Bradley, so he's not really too worried about pushing the envelope, not like Spencer is here trying to push the envelope behind the 98. But he's going to find that mistake Spencer's going to make. He's going to capitalize on it, and that's just going to make Spencer fume even that much more because he's just trying to do all he can to get about these guys that really just got a target on his back.
And this is a pretty impressive run, I've got to say, from Harris. I know we highlighted him a few laps ago, but for him to be up here hanging out with these guys, that's no small feat. And this is especially kind of a driver's track where you see a lot of variation in lap time and a lot of gaps. Ooh, a little blocking up there for the lead between Bradley and Tegan.
My only concern for Harris's sake is because we know Bradley is excellent at conserving tires. Tegan, he's pretty good at conserving tires. For Harris to run as fast as he is, you got to think, does he have it to where he's pushing the car that's wearing the tires down that much faster? May not be such a big deal in the first stage, but maybe in the second stage might bite him in the butt.
We got Bradley pitting here.
And Harris. Oh, Harris with an Yeah, Harris made an aggressive entry right there with speed. See if he got a penalty or not.
He thinks he sped, but the game disagrees, so Harris is all good, it seems.
Wow, what a bold move for Harris to try to swing by Bradley there in pit.
Top 2 are going to pit here. Top 2 are pitting.
Spencer with a very, very safe entry there behind Tegan. Does not even try to attempt to get beside Tegan going into pit road.
Let's see where these 2 runners come out. Harris had a monster pit entry. And that might give him the edge over Bradley. We'll see. They're going to be side by side here. Wow, look at that.
That is unbelievable.
Oh, my goodness. They must both be ghosted right now.
Yeah, they're definitely ghosted, y'all. That is not them making contact there. They are definitely ghosted. But now they're not going into turn 3. Bradley trying to make an aggressive entry on the high lane there to get the momentum coming off of turn 4. We'll see if he can prevail. But it doesn't look like... Ooh, actually he does.
Tegan took 2 tires.
And for those that are wondering, S'mores is still out in the lead. He has yet to pit. Darth Kyles is in the same boat behind him in second. So the leaders are just right behind Harris and now Spencer coming out. So you got Bradley, Harris, and Spencer. But Tegan out with the preferred lead after everybody sequences through their pit cycle.
I'm not sure exactly what the stage lap is, but I think that's probably got some reason in the call from from Tegan Jones to take 2 tires. Maybe a little test run for later in the race. You never know.
Definitely. Doesn't have anything to lose, not racing for points. Why not go for the first half? And if you don't succeed, then you can go to pit, stay on the lead lap, and then just re-rack it again for the second stage. Excellent move by Tegan.
Yeah, Smar's still yet to pit.
Meanwhile, Bradley's pulling pretty good distance away from Harris here. Harris definitely seems like he's got a better long-run car, but after pit sequence right here, it's going to be tough to tell if he's got the better long run with now the tire pressures being adjusted compared to Bradley or not.
Yeah, we'll see what adjustments these guys made. Seemed like Bradley was pretty good on the short run, was able to work his way back through the field after his incident with Spencer, and then kind of gave up, and it looked like he might have been holding up Tegan and Spencer and Harris late in the run, but Bradley got wicked loose.
He got really loose and almost hit that wall coming off of turn 4, allowing Harris and now Spencer to come up behind him. Harris using that pretty much the apron to try to keep momentum up beside Bradley, but now that's going to allow Spencer to tuck and toe behind Bradley to try to pass him for 4th. Well, I say 4th. Actually, I'm sorry, it's for 5th. S'mores is still yet to come down pit road.
Wow. No, he's
still
pitted. He's pitted.
He has pitted. Okay. Yeah, my apologies, folks.
Tegan is in first, so S'mores
my apologies.
has pitted.
I never saw S'mores go down to pit road, Mike. Man, I apologize.
Let's find out. I'm gonna talk in the chat right now. Find out how much time is left in this stage.
Yeah, stage laps is 33 to 34. So
they've got about, I believe they're coming to 5 to go in the 5 or 6 to go in the stage. They're on lap 29 now.
Lap 29, okay. Tegan definitely made a really good move. They pretty much have yet to catch up to the likes of Tegan there.
I would have a little concern for Tegan Jones. I'm looking at his perspective right now where you can see that tire data, the telemetry of the tire percentages. He's down to 16% on his left front. He's coming to lap 30 right now, and he's got to make it around to 33 to 34. And with this being a 3 times wear series, the Cup Series runs on 2 times. That is kind of pushing it.
And speaking of pushing it, Spencer doing all that he can to try to get around the 6 as he makes some contact with the wall.
Yep. He got up into the wall trying to get to the back bumper of Bradley. Now they have Tegan Jones in their sights. Harris dives it in under Spencer, but no dice for him right there.
Yeah, he when Spencer was outside of Bradley there when they came off the corner, Bradley literally left him enough room for... Oh, there was some contact made between Spencer and Bradley just right there. Spencer backs way off, though.
A little bit of contact. I think he's a bit afraid to make Bradley too angry here.
Yeah, you got a cat up in the lead here, already has the hottest beef with you as of late. You got a guy behind you that has the longest beef with you. And then you got a guy right here that pretty much runs all of the drivers' meetings, qualifying, all that stuff, a bunch of other stuff here too with it being Bradley. The last thing you want to do is make that cat really mad.
Those are the president and the vice president of the league. So Bradley being the president, Tegan as the vice president. I don't really know if you're barking up the right tree messing with those guys. And they've made the third admin angry in recent weeks also. I don't quite know who the third one is, but... Oh,
I got an idea.
He's been... Spencer made him angry a few weeks back.
Spencer really trying to do his best to get behind, get in front of the 6 car here. Uses that apron to try to get off right here side by side, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep that momentum stay. But
they're coming to the line for the stage here. It's going to be Tegan Jones taking the stage victory with 7% left on his left front. Bradley will take P2, Spencer 3rd, Harris 4th, and it looks like S'mores will be 5th. Yes.
Yeah, Future coming around the track here, almost a full lap behind everybody else that was on the lead. But I think he had an accident earlier. He's got a lot of right front damage.
Must have had an issue there. Pits will be open this time. It'll be interesting to see who makes it out of pit road first and what the lap count will be for fuel and whatnot compared to the laps remaining in the race.
Tell you what, Mike, man, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Harris finds a little setup here to help change his race car for the long run setup, because it didn't seem like he had the speed to be able to catch up with the likes of Spencer and Bradley.
So we're going to cross the line for 66 laps remaining. They'll have 26 laps of fuel each, so it'll at least be, let me think in my head, I think 2 stops for sure. Yes.
Definitely 2. Yes, sir.
You'll be taking 2 stops. I would assume maybe they're all for 4 tires. But seeing what Tegan did there, that could be a little test run, because it might be a similar amount of laps to what you could be running at the end for 2 tires. So we'll see. We'll see how early these folks decide to pit.
Looks like Spencer and Bradley are trying to figure out. Okay, I was about to say they were trying to figure out who got out second, but it looks like Bradley prevailed.
Looks like we're going to stop on the backstretch here. Bradley is ghosted on Tegan's stream for whatever reason. This is the solution to the ghost issue, stopping and resetting everybody's physical beings. You got to love NASCAR Heat 5. We'll choose our lanes pretty soon here. They're definitely not going to be able to go this lap.
Yeah, I don't know why everybody gassed it the way they did.
Well, it takes a while to unghost, and gassing it up more is the better solution to that. Oh, we are going to go green here.
7 cars in the field.
Yep, 7 cars. We'll see how close and hotly contested the race for the win is. We're back green. Great restart for Tegan Jones.
Caught Bradley sleeping as well as the 54 machine of Harris.
Caught everybody else sleeping. He tucked them in and put them to bed. Tegan Jones with a monster start.
Trying to foul out here in the back between S'mores and Harris. That'll quickly subdue, but, well, Harris got a really wide entry right there.
Oh, Bradley got way tight.
Yeah, Harris is going to try to make... Well, I was about to say he was going to make a move, but he just peeked right there. Didn't want to really make a move on Bradley right off the bat.
Side by side in the back here, S'mores and Future. I think Harris's move was just a little more defensive than offensive. He was trying to keep the other 54 Spencer boys behind him and maintain that 3rd spot.
Well, you know, Bradley doesn't mind that one bit. One less thing to worry about from the most aggressive driver in this league right now, as he's trying to put his move on Tegan Jones.
Oh, side by side here into 1 and 2. Spencer diving under Harris.
Harris not giving him an inch. He's going to make him run that apron if he can, and Spencer did not want to do that.
Bradley all over the bumper of Tegan as he backs off. Looks to dive low to try to set up a move here. Tegan's not going to give him too much room, holding down to the apron. They're going to be side by side down the front stretch.
Spencer hit the wall as we're looking at the lead here, trying to change up between Bradley and Tegan. Bradley did a really good job there, Mike, man. When he got into turn 3, he backed his corner up really early. That way he was able to dime it off and get that momentum. Now he's able to get the lead from him.
Oh, my. Barely clear, if at all. Yeah, Bradley did a phenomenal job in 3 and 4 last lap. Kind of backed the corner up, diamonded it a little bit, and got the big run off, and that led him to be able to make the diving move under Tegan into turns 1 and 2 as he maintains the lead now.
But that is quintessential New Hampshire. You know, you literally got to set yourself up, try to make a pass on the guy ahead of you, and the speeds here are so similar that it takes you pretty much a full lap when you make that move to finally make that completed pass.
Let's look at Spencer here. He's trying to get under Harris. Harris is going to run him tight. Spencer's got a lift. Harris keeps 3rd. And Harris might have made some adjustments to his Toyota Supra. He's done a great job here on this run maintaining with these guys.
Him and S'mores. I just noticed S'mores is doing pretty well keeping up with the toe of the Spencer boys there.
Yeah, this is now a 5-horse race. Darth Kylo and Future kind of trailing him a little bit. S'mores doing a heck of a job here, and he's looking to go on the offense. He's trying to pass Spencer boys.
Backs his corner up just a little bit. The problem is where he's just so low in the turns right there, it's very hard to keep that momentum up, but that's going to allow Spencer, though. Something happened to Harris. Spencer got on the high side of Harris there, was able to really get that momentum to try to sling by him.
Yeah, Spencer made a fantastic move. But is it going to stick? Does Harris clear himself? He does. Oh, and now Spencer's going to dive under him. Battle for third continues into turns 1 and 2.
And Tegan and Bradley's just waving bye-bye.
This is going to help them quite a bit. You are right. Let's take a look. Spencer not happy back there. I'm not sure why.
Lord forbid he takes that interview position away from him.
That's all he's racing for, is an interview. So we'll
Where's
see who
Sal?
can come away with that third spot. Field tightening up a little bit. Darth Kylo's now in this group. These are almost 6 cars under a blanket here on the back straightaway at the Magic Mile.
Spencer trying to peek a little bit underneath the sports clip machine of Harris again. Darth Kylo got really wide and hits the wall. Wow, I don't know what happened right there, but we're side by side for third.
They're side by side. Oh, contact. Spencer runs him up a little bit. Uh-oh, what's going to happen here? Let's go on board with Harris. Does he take a dive in?
Harris definitely squeezed Spencer there, and I believe Spencer did get into Harris. So kind of a 50-50 trade-off deal in my opinion, but yeah, we'll see how Harris can react if he was able to catch up to the Twix machine of Spencer now.
Yeah, Spencer's complaining in the chat right now that everybody complains when he tries to pass people, but that's only because he hits to them. So that's why people complain. I think he's still a little butthurt. He lost his big race last week. He practiced for that one all year and didn't come up with the W.
Whew. Pardon the interruption. Darth Kylo almost got shot down to pit road. Got loose there from the transition to turn 3 to 4 and almost hit that commitment line.
Check it out, Kevron. Look at this. Getting close for the lead up here. 6 in the 98.
And I tell you what, these two cats right here, they don't have a problem hitting each other either. They definitely have a lot more respect for each other, but you mentioned earlier how Bradley roughed up Tegan the last time we were here. Tegan still has that in the back of his mind and will not let that go if he can help it.
If there's one thing about these CFRL drivers, do they forget? I do not think so. And Tegan Jones, definitely one of them that has a pretty long memory. He will not forget what happened here just meters away from where they are right now. A win being taken away from him and into the hands of Bradley Domer Jr. with a little contact here, right in this part of the track. Oh.
Speaking of meters, guy that's inching a little bit closer
Harris
now
in the
is
pits.
that Harris is in the pits. Okay. Definitely probably working out some little strategy there.
I think it was an accident, actually. I don't think he meant to pit.
Uh-oh.
But we'll see.
I'll keep my eye on him.
He's just barely in the pit window now to make it on 2 more stops. I don't know if he'll have a speeding penalty for this. Keep an eye on him, Kevron, to see how long his time is to find out if we've got a speeding penalty. As we've got a battle for the top spot. Tegan Jones going for the lead. He's got it. Bradley maybe looking for a crossover. No dice. Tegan Jones to the point again.
Tegan to the point again. Harris with the penalty. Definitely was an accident getting down to pit road. Whether it was an intentional deal to get down to pit road or not, he definitely sustained a penalty as we are watching the lead right here just shaking up like crazy now.
Spencer Boyce back in this group now. Do we see a short pitter potentially? That has worked for me personally a couple times this year, short pitting. Does somebody do that at Loudon here? The tire fall off is definitely a thing.
Well, I'm surprised that the guys in the back won't do it. Darth Kylo, I'm surprised he's not done it yet. The 20 of Future, he's just had a couple races here. There was a little bit of contact here for second place as I was mentioning about that. Spencer got underneath Bradley. Bradley really hugging on his corner panel there.
Let's see, does Bradley go back at him? He does. He just stays under him. They're going to be side by side. Oh, they're touched down the backstretch.
Mike, these two cats right here are really about to make some serious contact now.
Dives it in. Does he get into him a little bit? Runs him up.
Spencer knew that he was about to get run up. That's why he ran as wide as he did. There was no contact there, folks. And they're still going at it.
Side by side still. And this is a dream scenario for Tegan Jones.
Whew, coming off that corner there, really tight. Almost
really
hitting the wall
close.
with Spencer. Almost hitting Spencer was Bradley. Bradley now really shows him up the track, Mike.
Yep, moves him up the track. Bradley's going to hold on to second. It looks like he knew that the urgency was going to be up here because now Tegan Jones is walking away, and now he's blocking them all over the racetrack. It's not wide, but Bradley's making it wide. He'll hold on to second.
You might as well put a car in here that is as wide as the track itself, because that's how wide Bradley's racing Spencer now.
Think about that scene from Talladega Nights where it looked like Jean Girard was blocking every lane on the track. That was Bradley down the front stretch on Spencer.
And that's allowing
Kylo's
the 22
pitting.
S'mores. Kylo's pitting, yeah, to 22 of S'mores. That's just allowing him to get into this picture, too. Not really close to the lead like he wants to be, but S'mores is just trying to say, come on, 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 come on. He's just really.
Spencer ran it almost right up to the wall. That's going to give S'mores a little run. Not close enough to make a go at him right now, but looks like Bradley is catching up to Tegan again.
Yeah, now that all that battling has kind of cooled down between the 6 and the 54, now Bradley can specifically focus on that lead there. The 98 of Tegan Jones definitely pulled away quite a bit, but with Bradley's experience here and the wins that he has nabbed at New Hampshire, he is definitely the car that can catch up to the 98 machine.
Tegan's also won a lot of races at New Hampshire. Bradley's won the last 2 that the CFRL has ran, so interesting to see who can come out on top.
Spencer S'mores is coming to pit.
This makes me think that we're going to see probably 4 tire stops to the end from these two guys at least.
Yep,
44 to go. That means the window is about going to be 22 laps each stop for them, which makes sense, splitting it evenly till the end if you can. Taking 4 tires each time. That's a page out of my book. I would make that call probably if I were one of these guys.
Meanwhile, as everybody was coming down to pit road, Bradley there coming off of turn 2 got
Bradley's
really wide. He had to let up there to keep from hitting that wall. That's just going to just force him to go down to pit road here, get the fresh tires that he can, try to catch up to Tegan afterwards.
S'mores is going to get out of the pits ahead of Spencer here. 22 jumps the 54.
I bet Spencer had
come
damage.
out ahead of Kylo.
Yeah. I think Spencer had a couple of seconds worth of damage from that contact made between him and Bradley.
The leader is pitting. 98 of Tegan Jones into the box.
You mentioned earlier, Mike, man, that the tire fall-off is a thing here at this racetrack, but how much of an egregious fall-off is it having 2 different laps of tires difference in between the likes of Tegan and Bradley?
Well, we are going to find out here. S'mores and Spencer are going to come out a few car lengths behind Bradley, maybe 5 or 6. And then we'll see where Tegan Jones comes out in relation to those guys.
See, I think that Spencer really had a very safe entry there, and S'mores had no choice but to follow suit because where he was behind Spencer didn't really allow S'mores to have the lane he wanted to try to get ahead of him.
It's going to be closer coming out of turn number 2, and we've got a new leader. Bradley Domer Jr. to the top spot.
And we got a shake-up for third. S'mores now ahead of Spencer.
Yeah, S'mores came out of the pits ahead of Spencer, actually. He's been ahead of him the whole time. And now we've got another battle for the lead.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was a little surprised that Spencer wasn't able to pass S'mores back yet, so now he does go down low. Tegan, though, trying to make that move, going all the way down to the apron. Wow. He got loose.
Yeah, and this is going to give him, this is going to open the door for Spencer and S'mores to take it on him. Oh, contact! Little bit of a shot to Spencer from Tegan.
Yeah, Spencer is now definitely going to lose his patience right here because now it's not like he's just going to lose or second place.
He doors him on the straightaway. He runs right up to the outside.
And that's going to allow S'mores there to get down low, making it 3 wide for second, Mikeman.
Yeah, look behind Tegan Jones. You've got a cluster here.
Tegan with a preferred car that, with some better speed than the likes of Spencer. Spencer and S'mores came down to pit road at least 4 laps prior to him. So he's definitely, if he could pull away from Spencer, he's got nothing to worry about. But Spencer just keeping in tow.
I believe he's got 3 laps fresher, maybe 2 or 3, somewhere in that range than these two guys. But this is good for Bradley again. We'll see what Tegan Jones has. It seems like Bradley has been a little bit stronger than Tegan throughout this race here in New Hampshire.
Bradley definitely has a little bit better long run speed, so maybe Tegan can catch up to him right here as far as short run goes, but as far as long runs, might be able to level it out here between Bradley and Tegan.
Tegan and Spencer have had their beef over the last few weeks here in the CFRL. It dates back to Dover in the Midweek Series a couple weeks ago. Then it goes to last Sunday at Martinsville. Now, could we have a third chapter in the story here at New Hampshire? It was getting a little tight there on the front stretch. Tegan did not give him any room. Might have walled him on the straightaway. Does Spencer take another shot at him? Spencer has been the aggressor in this feud. He's hit him pretty hard at both Dover and Martinsville.
Well, you just said earlier in the chat that he was complaining about how people runs him and everything's fine, but when he runs people, everybody gets all butthurt about it. As you already made the point, it's a lot of times because of Spencer's aggression, why people race him the way they do. More or less just trying to teach him a lesson. Tegan barely catching up to Bradley, as Spencer barely catching up to Tegan now.
And S'mores hanging behind these 3, lurking in case anything happens.
And while Mike Man's looking at the leaders here, I'll just go ahead and tell you that Harris is in 4th. Not Harris, I'm sorry. Darth S'mores. Okay, so we got S'mores in 4th, Darth Kylo 5th. I believe, that's the 20th Future. He's in 6th, and Harris in 7th. Harris has suffered that speeding penalty from where he, I guess he wrecked coming down to pit road by accident, but that ultimately sustained a speeding penalty because of it, so.
And I think that might have pitted him just out of his pit window. So
definitely a tough break for the 54 Sports Clip machine of Harris there. But, these 3 cats right here up in the top here, Mike, man, they just cannot get away from each other.
No, they can't. These guys are all over each other. The CFRL Midweek Series never fails to deliver here. And it is no different here at Loudon.
And a message from Michael Fox here in the YouTube chat section. Yeah! Definitely enjoying the action here from Michael Fox. Appreciate you hopping in and watching this here. Wish you could jump in tonight and make it an 8-car race tonight here, Michael. But nevertheless, we appreciate you watching. But anyway, same story, different lap. Spencer this time looking to try to make a pass here below Tegan now.
We were on board as Tegan had an issue there through 3 and 4. Spencer's going to be under him. Close between the two.
Absolutely.
I think Spencer's pretty afraid to rough this guy up, because if he does, he knows Tegan will hit a big retaliation on him. It's been brewing up for some time here.
Well, Tegan is just begging and itching for him to make contact with him again so that he can have that retaliation. Spencer actually did a very good job, Mike Man, in turns 1 and 2 to keep it off of him there as low as he went.
But doing this is kind of leaving Spencer frustrated. The guy is so aggressive, he gets angry when he has to race people clean and cannot get by them. And then he starts huffing and puffing as he's all over the bumper of the 98 again.
Man, I have to give credit, Mike Man, to the 22 of S'mores. He's not catching up to the leader per se, but he is just hanging in there, just hoping and waiting for a mistake to happen where he can capitalize on it.
In case anything happens, which very well could. These guys have been racing hard up here for the lead and for the top 3. Tegan is caught up to Bradley here. It's going to be close again. Can Tegan make a move here? The Midweek Series goes into an off week next Wednesday as we celebrate the day before the 4th of July, July 3rd. They get an off week for these guys. Our last off week was the 22nd of Memorial Day week. And then we're back here on the CFRL YouTube channel, July 10th for Bristol in the trucks. I'll be out there on the track for that one. That'll be a fun one.
Meanwhile, we have yet again closed the gap in between these three cats up here for the lead. Then Bradley gets a really good run off that corner there, though. Widens the gap a little bit, taking the same to Spencer as they close it up again, coming into turns 3.
Bradley got a little high there. Could give Tegan the opportunity to get under him. He runs them pretty tight. Will they be side by side? Nope, Tegan slides in behind him. It is very, very hard to pass here at this 1 mile flat oval.
Cup, Xfinity, trucks, doesn't matter, Mike, man. You already know how this works out, too. This racetrack, the way it's so flat, again, you have to set yourself up just perfectly to make that move. And once you do make that move, it'll probably take you at least a lap to complete that move, permitting that there's no mistakes being made.
Oh, S'mores getting into the back of Spencer, running him all the way up the track. He's going to get under him, look for the 3rd spot now.
I don't think S'mores intended to do that to Spencer. I just think Spencer checked up much earlier than S'mores had realized he was going to.
Looks like Spencer's going to keep that 3rd spot. Let's go on board with Tegan, see if he can try to cook up a move here.
With the fresher tires.
Yeah, you got to try to get a run off of a corner, get a run down a straightaway, and then have the momentum to dive under or above the car in front of you. But Bradley had a really good 3 and 4 there.
See, that was pretty much the move I believe Spencer was trying to make there in turns 3 a little over a lap or 2 ago, and that's what caused S'mores to get into the back of Tegan. Tegan trying to make that move there, as you said, to try to get that run off the corner to be able to catch up closer to Bradley. Looks like it's working in some times, and the other times it just looks like they just pretty much stagnate out with the gap between Tegan and Bradley.
It looked to me last lap like Tegan had a monster, Bradley had a monster 3 and 4 last time around, and then Tegan got the good 1 and 2, and they kept it even through 3 and 4. Kylo into the pits.
Kylo into the pits, and we got Spencer Oh, okay, I was about to say Spencer was looking to try to make a move on the high lane of Tegan there, but that momentum really got cut off there as he got really tight. But,
54, Spencer is pitting here. It might be early. We'll see what we got for laps to go here.
S'mores made a really good move at staying out.
Way loose. So they've got 25 to go. Oh, I heard something get thrown. That's not good.
Uh-oh. A speeding penalty, I'm assuming?
No, he didn't speed. He's pitted by himself, so he says there goes his race. I don't think he understands we're not at Talladega, so that really doesn't matter. But I would be concerned because I don't know, drivers have not been able to stretch the tires for the full 26-lap fuel run this time, tonight. So
Spencer sped on pit road.
Did he?
Because he was just now coming out.
I don't know. Are you sure?
Well, from the time that he had entered his pit box to the amount of time that I counted down, I went past 20 seconds.
Well, he said he didn't speed, but I'm not sure. He said he was yelling because he pitted by himself. We'll find out truly if he sped in a few laps whenever the top 3 runners pit. Bradley got a pretty steady lead here, maybe 4 or 5 car lengths ahead of Tegan Jones. 2 of the best drivers in the CFRL going at it for a win here. Looks like this will be the final pit stop once these guys come down for the leaders. S'mores in the 22 is into the pits. And this will be interesting to see where he comes out in relation to Spencer in the 54. We will find out really if Spencer sped or not. Spencer not happy in the chat talking about how he pitted by himself. That does not sound like he sped though.
Yeah, I just used the PlayStation app on my phone to hop in there and ask him real briefly, and as you heard in the chat there, what he just said. So, not a speeding penalty. My apologies for the misinformation, folks, but Yeah, saying that he made the mistake of going down pit road by himself.
Which I don't get, because that short pitting gave him almost a straightaway advantage over S'mores. So I think that it worked out for him if he can stretch those tires till the end. We'll see. Tegan Jones into the pits. Bradley Domer pitted last lap, so we'll see how he comes out in relation to Spencer. Spencer probably will have the advantage, and yes, he does. Spencer, I think, will take the net lead here at New Hampshire.
Definitely the net lead. Definitely going to see Tegan probably come out just behind. No, I think he'll stay ahead of S'mores. But, yeah, we'll obviously see how this works out here in the next little bit.
Yeah, I think he'll come out right in between the 6 and the 22. Kind of where he started. As you see the leader run down the front stretch. Tegan exiting the pits.
Well, it's going to be close. I think S'mores is going to have the preferred advantage once they go into the backstretch here, not unless Tegan decides to block them.
You go so slow through the corners here that you can gas up under the pits, and they're going to be side by side. I assume Tegan is going to want to make quick work of this. He dives it in under S'mores to make this pass. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but he had to do it.
Yeah, I'm sure that he's, nothing personal between these two cats right here. Obviously, S'mores understands he's got older tires than Tegan, and he knows that Tegan's got the preferred car to be able to catch up to the likes of Bradley and thus Spencer once the tires on Spencer wears down a little bit more.
Let's ride on board with the man with the freshest tires in the field, Tegan Jones. These guys should be good to go to the end. But I don't know if Spencer's going to have the tire life to make it till the end.
It's going to be interesting, Mike, to see how this plays out for Spencer. Even if he is able to stretch the tires out, he's going to have to back it up to keep those tires from overburning to stay ahead of the likes of Bradley and Tegan. So by the time that the end of this race comes around, I believe that Spencer either will blow a tire or will have to back off to settle for maybe behind S'mores.
And even the guys that pitted, I think S'mores could have issues with tire life, even Bradley. Tegan Jones has been, I think, getting enough out of his tires with 17 to go here to make it to the end. Will we see tire issues for Bradley and S'mores? We'll find out. Spencer pitted a long ways before these guys. I believe around 25 to go when he came down to the pits. As we see, he's got a pretty sizable advantage here over the 6 of Bradley Domer.
Sizable advantage for sure, but I'm telling you, Mike, man, that 6 is already eat up a little bit of that lead right there. It's kind of hard to tell because of the distance between them, but pretty much every time you have the camera angle on Spencer, going around the racetrack like it is, every time that a lap goes by, Bradley's car just inches in a little bit faster into screen whenever we see Spencer go by.
Just a reminder, as we said earlier, the Midweek Series off next week, back at Bristol on the 10th of July. The Cup Series hits the Irish Hills in Michigan this Sunday.
Ooh. Sorry, while you were going through the reminders of the schedule, Bradley got wicked tight coming off of Turn 4. Really had to back it up to keep from hitting the wall. That was going to allow the 98 of Tegan to catch up to him really quickly.
Could this be the battle for the win, 98 and 6?
I have to say it is, Mike, man. 54 of Spencer there. I just cannot see his tires making it all the way with the speed and the lap times that he is laying down. You know that he's burning through that right side tire way too much to hold up for the end of the race.
That's for sure. Spencer's still a good advantage, but I think he needs to conserve tires because I think his worry needs to be just making it to the end, because if he blows a tire, then he's really, really screwed the pooch.
And I believe that's exactly what S'mores is doing, too. I believe S'mores, he's definitely not caught up to the like of Tegan or Bradley like I thought he would. I believe he's conserving on tires to make sure he makes it to the end as well.
Yeah, and S'mores could just be trying to maintain his spot. And also you could see maybe the 6 and the 98 just running really, really hard, trying to get to the 54 Spencer here. On board with Tegan again. He gets into the corner really, really well there.
Yeah, definitely those fresher tires giving him the advantage of not only getting to the corners so much deeper than Bradley, but also carrying that runoff speed off the X's of turns 2 and 4. As he's now down low below Bradley.
What a move by Bradley. And Tegan said in the chat moments ago, he said, if you let me lead and I get him, you're probably going to catch the both of us. So could we see some tensions here between Spencer and Tegan again?
Strap your seat belts, folks, because we have just begun racing, believe it or not.
They crossed the line, 11 laps to go. We are reaching the twilight here of our time in Loudon.
Tegan Jones absolutely is going to catch the 54 of Spencer. There's just no way Spencer can hold that momentum without burning up that tire. And if he does, he's going to blow his tire. If he backs off, Tegan's absolutely going to catch him without a doubt.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Spencer, I think, really needs to conserve tires if he wants to make it to the end.
Field-wise, he definitely has the field to make it. Tire-wise, I just can't imagine him being able to do it.
Spencer responded, I see my tires, so I don't know what that means.
Well, maybe a little bit of a cat-mouse kind of deal, trying to keep the mind games out of his own mind. I'm not really sure.
Harrison, 54, making his final stop.
Yeah, we knew Harris wasn't going to be able to make it to the end there, given that how early he had pitted before with that mistake of spinning out and going and getting that speed penalty. But, it's not the first time Spencer has been out in the front like this and then costing him a race, blowing a tire or whatever from pitting too early. Now, look, S'mores, he might not be able to win, but I think he's really the smartest cat right here. He's not pushing his car. You know that he's going to be able to get to the end, at least on tires for sure, because of where he's not really pushing the corner so hard compared to like Spencer.
That's for sure. But we'll see what happens here. Harris pulling away from Spencer. I was curious to see if he might back up and give Spencer a little fit, but we're not too sure that's going to happen. The lead is tightening for sure for Spencer Boyce as Tegan Jones in second, chasing him down, and he will not be afraid to use the chrome horn.
No, absolutely not. And Spencer doing all that he can to make sure that he stays as far ahead of that 98 as possible, because he knows once the 98 is within striking distance, he will use the chrome horns, like you said.
And you can see out of the corners here, especially out of turn 2, a little bit of a slide from Spencer Boyce here and there. And that is not good for your right rear, which is the tire wearing more than any other one here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing that a lot of people that don't race here
look at that little slide there. Look at that slide that he just had right there. He had to correct it. That is wearing that right rear tire.
People do not realize, even if you did try to save tires here, it's still going to wear that right rear out faster than you want it to. So no matter what now at this point, whether Spencer's really being aggressive on the right rear or conserving on the right rear, oh my gosh, look at the gap closed in between him and Tegan, Mike.
It's tightening for sure. As we just crossed 5 to go, there will be no more yellow flags in this race. It's going to end between one of these three. Spencer Boyce, Tegan Jones, Bradley Domer Jr. Let's follow along with Tegan as he chases down the 54 Spencer.
Crossing the line here, Spencer leading the lap with 4 laps to go, but Tegan takes it to the high lane here.
Trying to go around the outside. Can he make it work? Or will Spencer hold on to the top spot? Spencer goes up in front of him. Oh, man.
This is not good on Spencer's right rear, running that bottom lane.
Is there something wrong with the 54? Oh, he hits Bradley. Oh, the tire's blown! The tire has blown! Spencer is around! The tire has blown on Spencer Boyce. His chances of victory in Loudon are gone. And he's in the infield now. He's going to run the road course maybe.
Yes, and with less now, 3 laps to go, Tegan upholds the lead in front of Bradley. Bradley upholds second place in front of S'mores. Those are your top 3. S'mores don't really have a chance to catch up to these guys to make anything happen. Bradley's got 2 more shots coming up here to try to get by the 98, but it doesn't look like he's got the momentum to hold up behind him.
Yep, it'll be 2 laps remaining here. Tegan Jones has 97 career CFRL wins. He is chasing 100 this season. Can he get one step closer here tonight? We've got a saucy comment from Wessel tonight. It is getting saucy with those tires for Spencer Boyce.
And I'm telling you, Spencer, you can all just guarantee as we come to the white flag here, he is definitely fuming.
Yeah, he's got to be mad, but it is the final lap here at Loudon. Can Tegan Jones hold off Bradley Domer Jr.? This is the sight we saw here just 2 months ago. It was between these 2 drivers for the win here. But Bradley's not going to be close enough here. Tegan Jones, coming out of turn 4 for the final time, will take the win in the Granite State. He wins number 98 for 98 at New Hampshire.
And the road to 100 just gets that much closer now that he is 2 wins away.
Oh, we got beef. Spencer and Harris down the backstretch. Apparently Harris is wall popping. They're going to battle here. Oh, he wrecks him intentionally. He takes him out.
Oh, my goodness.
He takes him out.
What happened,
He takes him out. Harris called him out for wall popping, and then Spencer took him out. Spencer takes him out. The chat is on fire.
Gosh.
New Hampshire delivers yet again. Live free or die in this state. And these drivers sure lived free today. The chat is on fire right now.
I am left speechless at what Spencer done to Harris.
Oh my goodness, what a finish at New Hampshire. Unbelievable stuff. Could there be a disqualification? Remember, Spencer Boyce is in a battle for that playoff spot. He's got to win. He needs to stay above the 15th point line. This is not his first issue for wall popping this year, potentially. We'll see the clips. We haven't seen what happened yet, but it's going to be close to find out what happens, and there could be a suspension maybe if Spencer Boyce is found wall popping again. If not just a disqualification. He gets the fastest lap, but that might not hang on due to the wall popping, and then intentionally wrecking beyond that.
Yes, Mike, man, if it's not for wall popping, it's got to be for wrecking. There's just zero excuse for what he had done to Harris there. I don't have any other words to say without it getting ugly from my end, Mike. Man, that's just. But here we go with the winner. A freaking Tegan. 98 wins and driving the 98 car. That's kind of a little bit of a storybook kind of deal, ain't it?
It is. I didn't know I had that call lined up for tonight, but we're gonna do this interview before we get the winner in. This is the hot angle of what's going on right now.
So can I take this mic real quick?
Hold on. We didn't catch the wall popping, but we saw the intentional wreck. We saw in turns 3 and 4, Spencer Boyce take out Harris. Harris, talk me through what happened from your perspective. Tell me what went on there.
I'll tell you what, this dumb motherfucker in the 54, he wasn't going to make it on tires, so he was pitting. He's throwing a fucking hissy fit. He's throwing a temper tantrum. And then he's coming out of pit road as I pass him. He wall pops. I tell the people, he's wall popping. So I'm like, I got to defend for my 6th place because I feel like it's one more corner. I can hold him off, and it's just the last lap. And then he wants to send it in there to wreck me. So if he's listening, which I know he's listening, he's probably saying whatever, throwing some shit all across his fucking house. Sunday, your ass is getting wrecked. Every time I pass you, I will move you up the track. I will make sure you speed in pit road. You will get damaged every time the 12 car passes you. I'm tired of this piece of shit always coming at me and wants to say, oh, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Well, damn right it's going to be your fault this Sunday. And I will race every single race in the playoffs to make sure you are not winning the championship. Because I will stand on that. You're not making it out the first round, matter of fact. You're not making it. You're not getting no points. You're not getting no stage points because I'm going to rough you up every time since you just want to do that. And I'm getting ready to get these clips together to show you wall pop. So good luck trying to racing Sunday or having that top 10 finish at all. And then in the playoffs, you're not making it out the first round. That's all I got to say. So good luck, Spencer. And good job, Tegan. Good job to the people in the booth. And
yeah.
The 7 car is just done.
Before you go, I know a little incident kind of hampered you tonight, but you had a fast car. Were able to hang up with the guys in the front. Is that any consolation for a bad finish in the end? And then the eventual incident with Spencer showing that you had speed early on?
We was in the final part of the stage, and I was kind of losing him, and I didn't know what was up with my car. And S'mores kind of tapped me, which when he tapped me, I got on the apron, and my car was sideways, which he didn't hit me hard enough to go sideways, and I just got in the pit road. So it's not S'mores' fault. I don't blame him. But I don't know. I'm just pissed at Spencer. I mean, I don't know why you have to wreck me for 6th place, but if we have to do that, I'll make sure I recommend the Sunday race.
Yeah, and we called it on the stream here. It, to me at least, was pretty blatant of what happened there in 3 and 4. We didn't catch the wall popping. We did see the wreck here on stream, and it was just a full send into the fence from Spencer Boyce on you, Harris.
I still cannot believe that I just saw that too.
And you had a lot to say about it, rightfully so.
He gets bullied by Bradley. He gets bullied by Tegan, but do he wall none of them? Nah. If I try to block him or race him hard, he wants to move me out the way and wall me, I'll make sure that we both not getting any points marked at Michigan. I don't care if I don't make the playoffs if I wreck him. Wrecking him is going to be the fucking win Sunday.
All right, well, Harris, thank you for joining. I was going to interview you no matter what, but you came in first and came in hot and got your words out, so I really appreciate it, giving us one of the best interviews in CFRL history. Thank you, Harris.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, unbelievable that the win might be overshadowed here tonight, but it was number 98. For number 98, Tegan Jones picks up his 98th CFRL win in the 98 car here tonight. Congratulations to you, Tegan. Talk me through what you had to do there. It was a pretty hotly contested race with you, Bradley, and Spencer, and S'mores even hung out up there with you guys for a bit.
It was a very Todd's not the word. I mean, Todd is the word. It was the fucking condition of the car. But yeah, it's just I had to make like very minimal adjustments because it's. I mean, I don't know if y'all caught it. I actually did get loose one before the last pit stop, so it made no sense on what the car was doing from practice to the race. It just seems like me and Bradley both started fucking plowing, and Spencer is able to rotate in the corners with, you know, the advantage that he has with the steering wheel and stuff. So, yeah, it's one of the few that I actually had to go out there and earn, and kind of, I don't know if Bradley could have won if I didn't kind of ask him to help me out on trying to get to the 54, but it would have been close because me and Bradley seemed like we evened up and kind of stretched back together there at the end of the run. So, yeah, I'll enjoy this win. I forgot that it was 98 in the 98 car. That's pretty iconic and ironic. So
I think it gave me a pretty good call to the line. I didn't realize that until we were coming to the line, and I realized how close you are to that big triple-digit mark doing it in the number 98. Wessel called me a dummy for picking the wrong scheme for you. I don't have his scheme that he ran tonight, so I'm not stupid. I'm just cheap. Anyway, let's talk through your mindset, because you said in the chat, I think you should let me go here, Bradley. If I get to the 54, you might catch both of us. So was there intention for potential maybe moving Spencer for what's happening over the last few weeks? And what are your thoughts? One of your Ford Camp drivers, Harris in the 54, getting involved with him in an incident. I assume you heard that bombshell interview that he came in here with just moments ago.
I heard the end of it, and
the beginning was incredible.
I heard it going on during the last lap or two there. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if Spencer was trying to save tires there at the end, because I started catching him pretty rapidly.
And we knew in the booth when he pitted that he was not, because I was paying attention to your tires. We knew that he was not likely to make it to the end on the tires.
And that's probably on me. I am kind of good at mind games. I got in his head. I told him I made the false call to pit, and I didn't. And he fucking fell for it. I'm surprised at myself that he did.
And it wasn't like that. You were like, just right there ahead of him, and you just juked it. You were far enough ahead where he had plenty of time to react.
Abort. Yeah. And he thought he was getting fucked because he pitting by himself. This is not a drafting track. There's draft effect because we have it on normal and not on low, but he actually came out good if he could have just made it on his right rear. So like I said, I kind of did that on purpose. That's on me. Whether I feel bad for it or not, that's a different story. Bradley, on the other hand, I did ask because he was starting to get a little tight on the long run, and I seemed like I didn't get as tight as he did. And I figured that I started thinking Spencer was going to make it on his right rear. It was going to be close. And so I thought if I can get to him and then Spencer races and don't give me no room or whatever, then Bradley's going to catch us in probably one corner. He gave me the high line, and I think then I kind of knew what was going on, especially when he started checking up to give it to me. So props to him for not fucking sending it in there, blowing his right rear on under me and taking me out, and maybe Bradley too. That would have pissed me off royally. He might as well have left the league because he would have gotten shit from me for the rest of his existence in this league. So, and it's just I guess now I think I consider us even. I got in his head. I did it cleanly, to be honest. I didn't move him out of the way in none of these 3 races. I didn't give him fucking damage from the front or the back. I didn't wall his ass, even though I missed last week trying. I still didn't do it because apparently I need lessons on how to wreck, according to some people. But I digress. And I got in his head, fucked his strategy up, and then I got in his head even more when I said thanks for making that easy. That really set him off. So I consider us even now.
Well, Tegan, if you don't mind, or before you take the rest of the way, Mike, I just have to ask if you already have in your mind between you, Bradley, and Mike, man, of conversations about some penalties being handed down for how Spencer reacted to Harris and how he wrecked him and all that.
Well, definitely got to see clips. I'm a proof kind of guy, and we have a rule.
The stream has very clear proof of the intentional wreck, at least.
Well, the intentional wreck don't bother me as much as because we can get his ass on a week-by-week basis. The wall popping, he's been warned. He's actually had one given to him because of the rule being made up in the mid. Well, I think he's had 3. Technically, this is his 4th, and it's because he was given a freebie because the rule was made up because of him. So the rule clearly states what we have to do.
I'll read off what the rule is here for the folks at home that have not read it. The first offense is the driver's stage finish will be disallowed, and race finish will be scored as the last car on the driver's lap that he was on when he finished. The second offense is driver's stage finish will be disallowed along with a DQ finish, which will result in no points scored for the race. The third and final offense is the same as the second offense, along with possible further points deduction and or driver being suspended based off the seriousness of the offense. So that will definitely be a discussion that needs to be had. But as you said, I believe that we'll need to see proof of the wall popping. I can confirm, to me, my only point of contention about the intentional wreck is Harris only blocked him down the straightaway and called him out for wall popping, and Spencer basically wrecked him into turn 3 and 4 because of it. So that's it seemed unreasonable. It wasn't any sort of payback because they had no issues during the race, and Harris just called him out on what he was doing, and it is against the rules what Spencer was doing. So any further thoughts from you on that?
I don't think we'll have a decision tonight. It may be tomorrow, but there will be a decision made. Possibly the next race for midweek. So.
Yeah, and how do you feel heading to Michigan Sunday, looking for win number 99? How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel good every other practice there. So I feel like I've got something, but then you kind of get humbled when people are in the draft, even on a low draft at a track like Michigan. It's fucking potent. It seems like it gets more potent every time we go there. So yeah, I feel like I have good single car speed if I can ever be a single car and not have fucking cars drafting up to me. So that seems like to always be my fucking biggest issue with this game and low draft is I can get a good lead on some pit cycles or whatever, but I usually get caught because of the low draft. So it's something I'll have to probably earn even more so than I did tonight, to be honest, because there's a lot of guys that are not usually fast every week on a week-to-week basis that are pretty good for Michigan from what I can tell so far. So Michigan's, and it's becoming like Daytona and Talladega, it's becoming a good equalizer when it comes to not talent, but being able to drive the racetrack.
It kind of reminds me of an old style super speedway with little handling concerns, lifting in the corners a bit,
lifting.
but also draft being available, and that could be an interesting weekend for the playoff drivers. Kevron, last car in, you're in the booth with us. Harris and S'mores seem like two pretty strong drivers at this racetrack, and they're breathing down your neck. They're not going to get on points most likely, but if they pull off a win here at Michigan, that turns the playoff picture on a whole new head, and we'll see what happens there Sunday.
We got a lot of work to do.
Thank you for joining us, Tegan. Any final thoughts before you get out of here? Big win for you tonight.
No, just thanks for broadcasting. Was the live shared screen pretty much like
worked
on
wonderfully?
Par with,
yes, it was
like
same
pretty
time.
Current.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was really
That's
good.
maybe
actually.
something we might need to start finding somebody to do on the midweek base to base. Maybe even Cup for Harp. So.
No doubt.
But thanks for broadcasting.
Absolutely, Tegan.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate you hopping in here, and we will see you Sunday at Michigan.
Later.
Let's get Bradley in here if you want to invite him, driver of the number 6 car.
Absolutely.
We'll get his thoughts on about everything. We'll get his thoughts on what he thinks about the whole Spencer incident, if he's able to join us, and we'll then get his thoughts on finishing second here tonight at New Hampshire track. He won the Midweek Series last year and won in the Cup Series this year, but came up just one spot short tonight from that W here in the Granite State. There's an argument in the chat here between Harris and Spencer. They're still going at it.
I've been keeping my eye on that. It's definitely spicy in there.
And, I mean, we got to give it to Harris. Might be one of the best interviews of all time. He wasn't even invited. He just popped in here and started going at Spencer. So we love to see that. Great interview from Harris. Is now the second place finisher. Bradley Domer Jr. joins us here. Won this race last season. Won the Cup race here with that little bump and run on Tegan Jones, but just came up short here tonight. Talk me through your second place finish.
I shouldn't have let Tegan go so easily because I knew Spencer was going to blow a tire. But definitely didn't have the car for a long run. Got too tight. Just could not turn.
Yeah, it seemed like, to me at least, somebody would go out and take the lead, get a good gap, and then they would come back to the person in second. Is that what you noticed too? It kept going back and forth, I feel like, with you and Tegan.
Yeah, it was like that all night. I'd check out and he'd catch me, or he'd check out and then I'd slowly catch him. I just needed a few more laps and it could have been a repeat of the Cup race.
And we saw on our stream at least the intentional wreck from Spencer on Harris. Harris accused him of wall popping, and then Spencer took him out. Any thoughts on that? We talked to Tegan a little bit about it. Here are his thoughts on the incident. What were your thoughts on what transpired there tonight here at New Hampshire?
Well, it's typical Spencer. Hopefully we'll get videos soon, and once we get the videos, we can view them, and this will probably lead to a DQ And this is probably like his 20th offense in like the last year and a half, so it could lead to suspensions.
Which a
Yeah,
third
according
offense
to-
does lead to a suspension or a points reduction. So it's depends on the severity is what the rule says. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens with that.
And
Any
according
final?
to Harris, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you can go ahead, Kevin.
I was just saying, according to Harris, he's got video proof he's about to send in. So, yeah, folks, stay tuned for any announcements from the admin team.
Maybe we'll post it on Instagram. Make use of that, right?
Yeah.
Well, Bradley, any final thoughts before you get out of here? A good car for you tonight, but just didn't seem like quite enough.
Yeah, it was overall a good race. It was between 3 people. One was hit it way too early and new tires wasn't going to last, but apparently wants to blame everyone else for his problems. But overall, good race. Glad to come home second.
Thank you, Bradley. That's right. It doesn't matter who you're driving as. You can still kick ass out there. Anything for him, Kevron?
Hell of a run. I know it was short of a win, but definitely gave a really good effort out there. Put out a lot of fun for Mike, man, myself, and the fans watching here on YouTube land. You know, all that has been supporting CFRL. Definitely appreciate you going out there and busting tail week in, week out. So good run on you, man.
Thank you. I will see the midweek series. Is it next week? No,
2 weeks from now at
2 weeks
Bristol.
from now in the truck race.
It'll be a pretty big field. I'll be racing. You'll be racing. I assume we'll see other folks out there, so it'll be a fun one.
Driving them big dump trucks.
Hell yeah. Thank you, Bradley.
Oh,
Let's get Morris in here now. He was the third place finisher tonight in that Money Lion Ford Mustang. He's looking to gear up and probably clinch that regular season championship, especially considering that driver number 54 might have a suspension coming his way. Big advantage for him in the midweek points deal. So definitely a good night for him, seeing his rival in that have some definite issues. And he hung around with the leaders all night. Wasn't as quick as them, but did a good job maintaining a steady gap. And a third place finish is really, really solid for S'mores.
It really is. You know, given the circumstance that Harris had bestowed him when he had that little accident that got him caught down pit road and speeding, Harris definitely had a little bit of a better car, in my opinion, to stay ahead of S'mores to try to grab third. But ultimately, circumstances fell, and S'mores just left to get the podium finish.
Let me text him, make sure he knows to get in here.
Yeah, he's still showing online. He should be able to hop in pretty quick.
So we are waiting on Spencer Boyce.
We were waiting on
Cameron
who?
Morris, not Spencer
Oh,
Boyce.
my goodness.
I've got Spencer on the line. I don't know if we want to hear from him tonight. That would be a pretty ugly interview. But we are waiting on Cameron Morris, not Spencer Boyce. We don't want to hear from Spencer right now. But here is Morris, third place finisher tonight. Helps to extend. Is that a little Spencer impersonation? Sounded like it.
Oh, man.
S'mores, you're able to gain on your midweek series points lead here tonight with that third place finish. Was able to kind of stick around the leaders. Just didn't seem like you quite had the car to take it, the fight to them. Give me your thoughts on that 22 machine tonight.
Yeah, just the first one I was off. Like I was, the car was way too tight. It was slow, and then I just see Bradley, Spencer, Tegan, and Harris just drive off into the sunset, and got caught battling with Kylo and Sam there at the back tail end of the field, and I barely got stage points, 1 point, but it's better than nothing. And I was like, this is gonna be a fun race. No, it's like, I'm gonna be in my own little bubble for the whole race. But then the second one, I made my car better. I loosened it up a little bit. I also got wear and damage from, I think, Kylo, so that kind of helped the car, I guess, a little bit, make it looser. And then after apparently there's also like a moment off of turn 4 with me and Harris. Like I just gave him like a kiss on the bumper, and then on my screen it was just like a little dink, and then all of a sudden I see him going to the left, like he's pitting. Like, where are you going? But then he apparently went down pit road, and apparently he said he got loose as soon as I hit him on the back bumper. It just made like his. Apparently I got him arrow loose, and then just hooked it down pit road. But then that happened, and then at the end there, when Spencer was getting one down by Tegan and Bradley, I was just more worried about my tires, trying to make it to the end, because I was a little worried if I was gonna be able to make it. I was like right on the number on my tires, which luckily I was able to make it with 3% of my right rear, so I got lucky. But and then I see Bradley and Spencer down for a second, and all of a sudden I see Spencer wreck in front of me. I was like, oh god, please go, move. Because he spins and he's in my lane. I'm like, I'm already committed, man. So I hit the brakes, and then he slides up the track, and I'm like, oh, thank god. It scared me. I mean, I had like an 8-second gap to Kylo, but still, I'm like, I don't need another moment like that in my life.
Yeah, how close were you on tires at the end there? Was it a tight battle to make it to the end on tires?
Yes, it was a very close battle. I made it to the line with 3% on my right wheel.
Oh man, so probably couldn't have gotten around another lap there.
I mean, maybe half a lap, but then I probably would have blew the tire in zone 3 the next lap.
Yeah, great run for you tonight, though. Talk me through what that means to you to see your rival in points. Spencer had the issues he had, and then could be facing a potential suspension coming up here, or at least a points penalty or a disqualification. How does that make you feel for this midweek series points championship battle?
For midweek it helps because missing Dover 2 weeks ago really hurt me in the points. Like my points lead was good about like 75%, and then I got like 50% of it back after Daytona, after the issues that he had there. So he gained points on me for the fastest lap and the from qualifying and the stages. He gained like 3 points on me, I think, or 4, something like that. And then of course tonight I think I gained those back and like an extra possible how many, depending on whatever penalties or suspensions he might have coming his way. So for midweek it helps, especially trying to get that regular season championship, which I don't think it matters really points wise. I could be wrong, but I get a little banner too, I think, for winning it. So that's kind of what I'm going for. Just wait to the playoffs.
Oh man. Yeah, you get a banner. I think you do get some playoff points. I'm not exactly sure, but Kevron, you got anything for S'mores?
No, not really, but just touching up real quick on it. Before tonight's race, you were 29 points ahead of Spencer, and with all that mix-up with Spencer there blowing his tire, definitely puts an extension on how many points you have ahead of Spencer there. I don't think he ends up falling behind Ryan Harp, who's in third, but obviously you got to feel good, that points gap getting that much further away, kind of giving you a little bit of momentum to the playoffs here, feeling like you could definitely close out a championship season.
Yeah, just trying to just wait until the playoffs when it comes around at this point. But I was thinking about it the past couple days, just about the playoffs, just how I would do with the certain tracks and stuff coming up on the midweek schedule. So Chicagoland I think is going to be a really, really interesting race, because if the top 4 stay where they are right now, it's going to be very competitive, because I think Spencer's really good at Chicagoland, I'm really good at Chicagoland, and Harris is really good at Chicagoland. So us 3 there is just going to be a very competitive championship finale for midweek, if we get there.
Alrighty, well, thank you for joining us, Morris. Good third place run for you tonight, and we'll see you Sunday at Michigan.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for broadcasting tonight.
Absolutely, it was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Alrighty, Kevron. Well, a bombshell ending to this race at New Hampshire. We had number 98 for the number 98. Tegan Jones picks up his 98th CFRL win, and that number 98 Ford Mustang for Swordhouse Racing. And then we had the Spencer boys' blown tire, which then in turn led to the accusation of the wall popping on the last lap, and then the very clear intentional wreck that we saw live here on the Checkered Flag Racing League YouTube channel. We saw that, and it was very obvious that there was an intentional wreck there, because Harris blocked him after he got the run wall popping to get to him. So what a bombshell ending to the racing here tonight at the Magic Mile. It was magical for sure. Kevron,
Oh, man.
give me your final thoughts.
One word comes to mind, and it's a very simple word. Extra. Extra drama. Extra finishes for coming from Tegan, getting his 98th win of his CFRL career. 98th CFRL career win tonight. I can't talk. I'm just still baffled of all of the drama, of all of the mayhem, the anger, the triumphant, the just all this excitement. It's just so extra. I can't put in any other words how I feel about going into just a midweek series race with only 7 drivers in it, and it's provided us with nothing short of awesome broadcasting views for both ourselves and the fans.
That is for sure. We will be back on this YouTube channel live Sunday night at Michigan. Cameron Morris and Josh Harris try to get a win for that playoff spot. You try to hang on. Tegan Jones tries to get number 99. We will see what happens Sunday night here live on the YouTube channel. Working to get the Martinsville Radioactive up. We've hit a little issue with that, with the processing.
Stay tuned for that, folks.
Working on it. It's all done. It's ready to be uploaded. Maybe we upload it elsewhere. Who knows? But for Kevin Hall, Kevron, I am Michael Whitman. This was a presentation of the Checkered Flag Racing League Midweek Series live on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you Sunday night at Michigan.